Home Depot and Lowe's. Team Orange versus Team Blue. Sometimes it feels something akin to Pepsi versus Coke. Pretty much the same, right? But once you start looking closer, the shades of orange and blue start to look a little darker. Let's start with the usual reasons we shop where we shop. Product choice, convenience, and what we actually get for our money. Home Depot owns the tool aisle. Nearly half of every dollar spent on power tools in America passes through them. Lowe's, about a quarter. But flip it to appliances and Lowe's takes the lead. More fridges, washers, and dryers. Home Depot dominates the job site, Lowe's wins the laundry room. Okay, I'm going to interrupt here for a second. After I put this episode together and was about to post it, we realized that way too much time was spent talking about irrelevant stuff, like the type of customers they attract and comparing sizes and business models. So let's cut to the chase and get to what you came here for. And that's to talk about both companies' political spending and get to what the alternatives are. On the surface, both are solid choices and everything sounds like healthy competition. But when we follow the money, a different story emerges. Once you leave the aisle, money from your purchases don't just buy tools, it buys influence. In the 2024 cycle, Home Depot put roughly $5.5 million into political contributions and about $3.5 million into lobbying. Their employee PAC donated to both parties, but includes lawmakers who tried to block the 2020 election results. Corporate money also flows to attorneys general's associations, $125,000 each to both Republican and Democratic groups, and $140,000 to each governor's associations. They spent another $2+ million on trade associations and coalitions. So yeah, it's a lot of money moving through a lot of political pipelines. Lowe's has smaller numbers, but similar patterns. About $1.2 million in contributions, $2 million in lobbying. PAC split roughly half and half between the two major parties. They also sent $125,000 to each attorney general's groups and smaller checks to legislative committee. While none of this breaks the law, it does mean that part of what you spend on a box of screws or a saw flows into a political machine, one that helps decide who writes the laws that can, intentionally or not, undercut our democracy. Some of those same networks include affiliates that help promote the January 6th rally. That's why watchdogs call this a democracy-risk signal. That's when a company pours millions into politics but keeps the details murky. It concentrates power, limits accountability, and leaves voters out of the loop. Here's a Democracy-Risk Scorecard. Like the last episode, it tracks how each company's money aligns with democratic values. Although the framework never changes in that it weighs political spending, lobbying, and overall democracy alignment. The scorecard is tailored to fit the relevant issues that matter the most to that industry. In the case of the home improvement industry, that means how corporate money shapes labor rights, voting access, and environmental accountability. So the more the company spends to undermine said workers' rights, voting access, or environmental responsibility, the higher the risk. Those that keep their giving transparent or support civic participation rank lower. Here's how the companies in this episode stack up. Home Depot lands in the high-risk zone. Its PAC and executive donations have consistently backed politicians who oppose federal voting rights protections and labor organization reforms. Lowe's falls in the medium-risk range. Its donations are smaller and more bipartisan, but it still contributes to trade associations that lobby against climate and wage regulations. Both brands dominate the home improvement market, but one invests more heavily in influence that shapes how democracy itself is built or dismantled. So, what can you do about it? The good news is you have options. Nationwide, co-ops like Ace Hardware, Do It Best, and True Value are member-owned networks of independent stores. Sure, political values and involvement will vary, but profits stay local and politics stay decentralized. Take a look at all the locations. Ace Hardware has a little under 4,800 stores nationwide. Do It Best has around 3,300 stores, and True Value has around 4,300. Regionally, there are smaller heroes. Avashon Hardware has 130 family-owned stores across New England. Busy Beaver has 25 stores in Pennsylvania and Ohio. McLendon Hardware, 7 stores around Seattle. City Mill is a long-running local chain in Oahu and has 8 stores. And Habitat for Humanity, with its 900 restores across the U.S., turn your home improvement dollars into funding for affordable housing instead of lobbying. As you can see, there are a lot more ethically sound options when compared to Home Depot and Lowe's. Places where you can shop and know your money is working for your community, not against it. But now, you also have some alternate choices to consider as you become more mindful that democracy isn't defended just in the voting booths. It's also defended in every choice we make with our money. Corporations influence politics. We, the consumers, can influence corporations. Your dollars are votes. Spend them like democracy depends on it, because increasingly it does. Thanks for watching. If you found this useful, give it a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Take care, stay safe, see you next time.